Good morning and welcome back to the show.
Wherever you go.
On demand, in your hand. What do you know? You made it to the show. Let's go.
Happy Tuesday, you guys, and welcome to the show. Today is Q&A day, and we're going to be answering all of your questions. So, shall we get right to it?
We shall get right to it. First question is
MJ.
from MJ in Montreal, Canada. Lifestyle question.
Did you spell it that way on purpose?
Can you have a discussion on the personal human wealth, for example, like the importance of being in control of your own time, having a flexibility in things you do, and liberty to say what you want at work, having meaningful relationships, question mark?
So that's a fully loaded question. However, we'll do our best to...
She's like, can you explain the essence of life, please? Why are we here? What is our purpose?
So, you guys...
Let's talk about, first, the importance of being in control of your own time.
Oh my gosh.
I mean...
In life, we have three resources. We have time, energy, and money. Energy and money are both renewable. Time is not. Time is the most valuable resource. And by the way, that is how, one of the ways that you can determine the rich from the poor. Remember, the rich and the poor start with mindset, not with what you have in your bank account. The rich know how valuable their time is because 3 minutes that go by are not replaceable. They're not. That's it. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. However, $3, $30, $300, $3,000, $3 million.
$30 million, $200 million.
That's replaceable. Energy that's burned can be consumed. It's called food. Every day you consume energy, you burn energy. Now,
some of you know it as calories.
How efficient you are with burning energy depends on a lot of physiological things. And that is something that we teach all the time, you know, based off of the kinds of foods that you eat, the amount of sleep that you get, the amount of water that you get, you know, whether you work out or not, the types of workouts that you do or not. That allows you to be a more efficient energy burner. Okay, so when it comes to wealth, time is the most valuable thing that you want to care about. Like, I want to ask you guys a question. How much do you value your time? How much is an hour of your time worth? I want you to start thinking about it that way.
How many of you have heard the expression, time is money?
Time is money.
Hold on. Think about this. Time is time and money is money. They are not the same, but your time has a value. Mm-hmm. But value and money are not the same thing. Money is currency. Value is what you're getting in exchange for the currency you've given. Mm-hmm. No? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so time is time, money is money. But then going back to Sarit's question, what kind of value do you put on your time? If you're mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, getting zero value from it, then you are... I can't tell somebody if their time is being wasted or not because that's not my place, but you are using your time for very, very, very little value. Now, if you're watching something like Espresso, if you're watching a podcast that is bringing value to you or something like that, then you're exchanging that time for something of value. But when you are giving your time to give value to somebody else, what is that worth? If they were to exchange you their currency, being money, how much currency would you require for your time? I don't know how we got onto this.
Well,
this is a very loaded question.
Yeah, it's a very loaded question. So that being said, being in control of your time it's super important. Super important, because guess what? If you don't, and being in control of your time requires boundaries. And it requires confidence, because if you're not confident enough, then you're not going to be confident to set boundaries. Because most people, you guys, do not value time. So what happens if you surround yourself with people who don't value time? Your time gets stolen, and your time is precious, because your time cannot be renewed.
For example, think back to when you were in high school and how much just like doing nothing you did.
It's crazy.
Or playing video games, or I don't know what household you grew up in, or if your parents sat you in front of the TV and told you just like stay here, I don't want to deal with you, watch the TV, or you went outside and played with your friends, which I would say is more valuable because you're building relationships. But in high school, I remember how very, very, very little value I had on time. I would do nothing all day.
Yeah.
But also your brain isn't fully developed, so that's different. But going into adulthood, a lot of people continue to devalue time. And the importance of being in control of your time, think about it, from the moment you leave dependency on a parent or guardian, you have full control of what you do. You might not feel like it, but it's all decision making. Everything is decision making. So you have the importance of having control, like Sarit talked about boundaries. And when you don't control your time, it's because you have a lack of boundaries. You don't know how to say no to people. You don't know what you want. Therefore, you're not sure what to do with your time. So you just kind of wander around. When you are, a lack of boundaries would be, for example, like work, and they ask you to work overtime, and you just say yes every time, knowing that you're exhausted, knowing you want time for yourself, knowing that you want to have a vacation, knowing you want to do something else with your time. So the importance is invaluable. You have to have control of your time if you want to live a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Then having flexibility in the things that you do is also you controlling your time, I would say. Because it's all choices.
Yeah. This concept of flexibility challenges me a little bit, because it's like, what do you want in life? What do you want? Like, if you're seeking flexibility, then chances are that, like, flexibility with regards for what?
Yeah. Like, the question is kind of vague, so it's hard for us to really nail down. Nope.
But I think what...
Flexibility, the quality of bending easily without breaking. So that, I would say, goes back to boundaries. How much are you willing to flex before you break? Basically, what is your cap? What is your ceiling? What is your level of tolerance? Because you'll get what you tolerate. If you tolerate negative people in your life and you flex for negative people, you're going to get negativity. If you're willing, it's your level of willingness to bend for things that you don't tolerate, or not bend for things that you don't tolerate. So your level of flexibility is really up to you, but I know that we have very little, if we're going to call it tolerance.
Yep, we don't.
The quality of bending without breaking makes me think about tolerance. What is your tolerance? When you bend down to reach your toes, what is your hamstrings tolerance before they just bust? So I would say you get what you tolerate. Yeah?
Yeah.
Extra?
I mean, flexibility with regards for what? But here's the thing, you guys. If you want to be great, flexibility is not something that you should be striving for.
Standards.
Simple, full stop, end of story.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody who's great has become great because they seeked flexibility. If you want to be hella lean, like, stop talking about cheat meals. No, like, cheat meals are not a thing. If you want to be filthy wealthy, then stop trying to take off weekends. Stop trying to, like, take off evenings. Like, flexibility is not a thing. Flexibility is, I feel like, a justification that the average uses in order to comfort themselves with regards to why they're not doing more. Like, flexibility is like a really weird concept. Now, we believe in harmonization, 100%. We work all fucking day, but guess what? We love what we do.
We don't balance.
We don't balance.
We harmonize.
Yeah.
And
I don't balance my nutrition either. If I balance my nutrition, I wouldn't look the way I do now. And not to sound like, not to brag, but like, no.
If you want greatness, you set a standard and you uphold it. Yeah. And with that, there's extremely little flexibility. I say extremely little because there's always two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And you never know when you're going to need to flex for something. But if you set a standard and you stick to it, it leaves very little room for you to not succeed. So, there's that. Having the liberty to say what you want at work is, I don't really know how to answer that because that's, I mean, if you don't like that you can't have your say at work, don't work there.
Yes. If your workplace does not support you speaking up, then again, like what are you willing to tolerate? Mm-hmm. I know that I wouldn't be willing to tolerate it. Mm-hmm. But if you do and you haven't spoken up, then that's a confidence thing. Then what do you have to do in order for you to become more confident? And, you know, the reason why we do what we do is because this is step one with regards to becoming more confident. Like, being in tune with your body and knowing how to manage yourself is what leads to confidence. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter what car you have, what house you live in. If you don't know how to manage your emotions and to make promises and keep them, then you're going to feel empty.
And then having meaningful relationships. I want, like, everything in my heart without overthinking it wants to say that this trumps everything else. Having meaningful relationships. When I was married, I was told by my spouse that your first marriage. I only had one before this. So it was like, you have so many acquaintances, but not a lot of friends. I was like, it kind of stung a little bit, but like, you know, in the truth, you're like, you know, it's the truth. And it's kind of like, right? And I was like, you're right. Like, I know everybody. I'll go anywhere and find somebody somehow that I know. Mm-hmm. Because I worked in the CrossFit industry and I've been to multiple states, multiple cities, multiple events for many years. I competed in different places. So I know, and I've made, I wouldn't call them relationships. I've made acquaintances with so many people, and it's just like, it's cool to have somebody, like familiar faces where you go, but it means nothing if it doesn't go beyond the surface. So meaningful relationships are the reason I think that like really keep human beings alive. Like actually alive. And it brings me back to the interview that we did with Kara Lazowskis when she was talking about Leonardo DiCaprio walking around the streets at 2 a.m. looking like a bum, extremely lonely. And it's like, it doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have meaningful relationships, you don't have anything. Because no matter what exterior or material things you have, if there's nobody to share it with, like, what's the point? Were you just going to go hang out with your boat and talk to nobody? So, I mean, that's just me. Maybe people like that. If there are such things as hermits and they really, truly, genuinely are happy doing that, it's not my say. But to me, and I think to you, meaningful relationships are like trump to all.
Yeah.
Wow, my hair went very wild.
These are really good questions, MJ. What I would suggest is that next time, when you ask questions, so like keep on asking them, just be a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have to second guess like what you're saying. So we really want to help. Just like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Like, what do you want more help with?
Oh, we have Melissa Campbell from Down Under.
Oh, yes.
From Down Under, where the kangaroos play in Australia. First, I'm going to give you a shout out from down here. I listened to your show on my way to and from work.
This is so cool.
That's amazing. I love it. Can't watch it live because of time zone, but wanted to ask questions. I really hope that you get to listen to today, Melissa Campbell. You mentioned some supplements that you guys take, and I was wondering if you had a list of them somewhere so I could see if any of them are available in Australia. Also, do you know if they are vegan? Let's stop there real quick. I don't think they ship to Australia yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't, because I know that they're working on getting it to everyone. The supplements that we use, it's like every week we have a supplement question. What can we do for you guys to, like, what do you need for us in regards to supplements? Do you want like a breakdown of all the things and what they do? And I mean, and to answer the other part of this, because it's simple, most of them we determined are vegan, other than the whey protein.
Yeah, all of them are vegan other than the whey.
Other than the 2 whey proteins that they offer. But they do have a vegan protein, and they do have a collagen and greens. But
let's get to the other question.
Let's get to the other part.
Oh, her nickname is Shorty.
Can you read it?
Oh, sorry. I've dieted all my life, actually, a lot. A lot of what Erin talks about really resonates with me, and becoming vegan 10 months ago was the best thing my partner and I did. Anyway, wanted to give you guys a shout out. I'm almost finished the 14-day transformation thing and about to start Burn Zone next. Thanks again for motivating me.
Aww. Shorty.
I love it.
So there's something that I was gonna... Okay, vegan. If you guys are vegan, that's totally up to you. I'm not gonna call you against it. All I would ask is why, because it's my favorite question in the entire world. Not to be passive aggressive, like, why are you vegan? But like, legitimately, why have you chosen that route? Now, I must say something. Please do not force your beliefs on anybody in this page. If you are vegan, that's fine. You can be vegan. If you eat meat, amazing. Eat meat. Just don't tell anybody else what they have to do. Are we clear? We've had some of that. And I don't like it. We get to choose how we live our lives. And we can encourage others. But if somebody's not asking for advice on what they have to do, don't tell them what they have to do. There's just like in general a life rule. A life rule. But anyways, people have their reasons, and that's great. I think that's it from this question, though. Yeah?
Yeah. I wonder how you spell this city. Leslie Wilson from...
How you pronounce it?
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe.
Missouri? MO is Missouri, I think.
Yes.
All I have known is the lifestyle that Erin lived. Damn, so many people can relate to you. Okay. Do it again.
No. If you missed it the first time, you don't get a second chance.
Bodybuilding and strict dieting. I'm now reteaching myself the style of progression, not
progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection. How do you teach yourself to eat vegetables when you're a picky eater? I've never been a vegetable fan. Okay.
This is Sarit's favorite thing to say about vegetables.
If you don't like to eat vegetables, it's because you haven't done them right.
You don't know how to cook them.
I guarantee you all that if you take a 7-day trip to Israel, you're going to start loving vegetables.
I guarantee you that if Sarit made some vegetables for you, you would eat that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that Middle Eastern juju, where they just sprinkle love all over it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I will tell you, check this out. Leslie Wilson. Sounds like an American name. It might not be. So I'm not going to make that assumption. But if you grew up in America, Leslie, chances are your salad looks like iceberg lettuce with some fucking carrots and ranch dressing.
Yeah,
maybe
so
some cucumbers with some croutons, some bacon bits, sunflower seeds, and whatever else, cheese. When I grew up, no offense, Mom, but our salads were boring. So I didn't really care to eat it unless it had ranch or blue cheese or some kind of crazy shitty dressing on it. Right? So when I started dating this one, I was like, this isn't a salad. This is magic. And tell me it's not true. All right? You guys know. You're like, dang it. That's me. But it's no wonder you don't want to eat vegetables. That's not fun. Or it'd be broccoli, steamed broccoli. Ugh. Had enough of that.
I don't know when was the last time I ate that.
So it's just a matter of getting creative and thinking outside the box. And if you check out, actually, if you have the Nom Nom recipe book, go through that, find the vegetable recipes, and
find some of the salads.
Yeah, it will change your mind.
I will give you a 2-step system with regards to start tolerating vegetables, because here's the thing, really, if you don't like vegetables, it's because you haven't been exposed to how to make it right, and you also haven't been eating a plethora of vegetables. There is so many wonderful vegetables, and in America, for some reason, the go-tos are broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. I'm that's boring and bland. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do is try a new vegetable that you never had before. Go to the store and pick out a vegetable. You don't need to know how to cook it.
How many of y'all have had parsnips or eggplant?
So good.
Or what's another vegetable that people never eat in America?
Bok choy.
Bok choy. Fennel. Try some of those bad boys.
So, pick something that you haven't had before. Because clearly whatever you're eating is boring. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a way to spice it up, but obviously, it's not working for you. Okay, so try something new. Okay, and don't worry about the how, focus on the why first. Okay, so make that commitment. After that, I guarantee you that if you 90% of the vegetables that you bake are gonna be amazing. Just drizzle some olive oil, salt and pepper, put that shit in the oven for like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what it is, and try it. It's gonna be amazing. And don't you dare tell me that olive oil is fat. That's not your problem. Not eating enough vegetables is your problem. And Leslie, I want to challenge you to a question. You know, you guys, when I tried to figure things out on my own, I struggled for over 10 years. It sounds as if you do have some experience, but why are you trying to do it on your own? Like, imagine how much time you can save and energy and like reserved efforts by, you know, putting yourself out there. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you should sign up for one-on-one coaching, though that would be incredible. But a note to everybody, don't try to do it on your own.
The fact that she asked a question is her not doing it on her own.
True.
So she's here, and I hope that you listen to this and engage in the community and post when you need help, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to help everybody.
We're helping everybody who wants to be helped and
Sure.
knows where this community exists. Speaking of, every time you guys share the page, invite people to the page. Ooh. You guys, this page, just a side note, has grown, 400 people last week, 400 people 2 weeks ago, 300 people last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing by hundreds every week, which is amazing. And thank you guys for sharing the love and inviting and talking about it if you talk about it in your group of friends. But yes, we want to help everybody who wants to help themselves. Okay, we got Melanie O'Connor.
From Delaware?
From Delaware.
Are there signs you can recognize or look for that signal you are pulling away from your intentions? Okay.
That's a great question.
That's a deep question. Hold
That's
on.
a really
I need to
great
read
question.
it. Are there signs? Yes. Yes. There definitely are. But look, your intuition is a muscle that has to be developed, especially in this day and age, because most people don't even know how to use it. Like, you have to flex it. The reality is that signs are everywhere, and when you're very in tune with your intuition, like, you can recognize a sign like this because you start getting sensations.
I love this question because you just made us both really think.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because it challenges us, and this is how we grow. Like, you guys, we get just as much out of this as you guys, I think, sometimes, because this is amazing. So the thoughts that went through my head were, intuition is your sixth sense.
Yes.
And it is like a muscle. You use it. I mean, you don't lose it, but you're out of touch with it if you don't practice listening. And it's kind of like a woo-woo thing for me. For a while, it was like, listen to what? Like, what am I listening to? What am I listening for? And it's, your gut feeling, when you have a gut feeling and you're just like, you have this inkling and you're just like, I know X. That is your intuition. That is your sixth sense. But to go along with that, if we're talking about physical signs, this is integrity. So every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Scientifically. It's the truth. So if you're talking about pulling away from your intentions, then that's because via your integrity that your actions are misaligned. with your goals. So you have goal. And if your actions are on track with, then, and you're in alignment, you're straight. But if we're talking about pulling away from your intentions, then your actions get misaligned. So what you're doing, you know intuitively that it's not the right thing. Yeah? This is me literally thinking out loud.
Intuition practice 101. For those of you guys who are in tune, like you would know, you get that feeling like all over your body, and you can tell instantly when something feels right, when something doesn't. It takes years to develop. Years. Okay? And over time you start recognizing the patterns and that feeling, and you're like, it's like a hunger sensation. How do you know that you're hungry? You went hungry enough times to know what that feeling is like. So if you don't know how to use your intuition yet, the most powerful question that you can ask
Melanie's
yourself,
here, by the way.
The most powerful question that you can ask yourself when you want to do something and you get a feeling and you're like, I don't know what this is about. Like, what is this trying to tell me? Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Like, take some time to think about it. Why am I feeling this way? Like, if you're a mom, your intuition when it comes to your kids is kicking all the time. You haven't heard from them over the last 5 minutes and you know you should have heard from them. You start freaking out. You have that gut feeling. That's your intuition telling you something is wrong. Go ahead, like call the neighbor, call blah, 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 right? Like your intuition is always there. I don't care what age you are. I don't care, where you were born. We all have that sense of intuition. By the way, animals are incredible at it. They always follow their intuition. But because of the hustle and bustle and the busyness of the 21st century, did you know that our attention span is now 0.3 seconds long? Like, just goes to show you how distracted like the human race is nowadays. We've become so distracted, and when we're distracted, we're out of touch. So the only way for us to get connected is to avoid distractions. Now, I'm not saying like don't have your phone around you, because you want to stay connected, but you want to be intentional. And that is why also setting boundaries is really important. But if you're like, you know what, I'm not sure, why am I feeling this way, or what this is trying to tell me, just stop for a second. Stop, don't look at your phone or anything. Don't research anything. All you need to do is you need to listen to your inside voice and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way right now? Let's go back to the example of let's say your child, you haven't heard from them when you know you should have. Why are you feeling this way? Well, I expected to listen to them. Normally they call me at so-and-so time. They haven't, therefore, this is odd. Okay? Start by doing that. And over time, you're going to start recognizing patterns. And that's going to allow you, by the way, to become a more efficient decision maker.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I read a comment and my brain just went into nowhere land. So I have to be honest, I didn't hear a lot of what you said.
That's great that you don't have to.
But I know that this is recorded. So, I read a comment. What did it say? How do you know? This is really great. Okay. Denise, how do you know if you're pulling away or self-sabotaging? Pulling away, if you're pulling away from, let's call it a goal. Let's call it weight loss. And you're doing your nutrition and all of that and whatever. Pulling away would be not starting to, not care so much about the standard, making more justifications for things that are not going to help you lose the weight, whatever. It's because your why isn't strong enough. It's because the reason why you're trying to lose weight is weak. Mm-hmm. It's not substantial enough for you to continue caring. If you're like, oh, because I want to look good in a bikini. It's not because of that. Why do you want to look good in a bikini? Because you want other people to not judge you for being fat? Like, did you get called fat a lot when you were a kid? Like, what's the reason, right? Like, if you're pulling away, it's because your why, you haven't actually found the reason, the real root, which you have to be good at self-analyzing or get better at self-analyzing. Why do you actually want the things that you want? It's not superficial. There's always a deep, deep, deep rooted reason. You want to prove somebody wrong, maybe? Maybe somebody really deeply hurts you and you're like, fuck them, I'm going to prove them wrong. And that's like, you know, the driver needs to be so strong and then you won't pull away. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're talking about self-sabotage, oftentimes it's because you have a fear of success. And you have a fear of success because when you have success, you set a standard for more success, and you have a fear of failure. Because then when you have success, you're now accountable to maintain that success so that you are not a one-hit wonder. Mm-hmm. We experienced this. The first month that we made a substantial amount of money that we had never made before, we both felt this, oh shit. This fear of like, fuck, what if we don't maintain that? Mm-hmm. And we had to quickly check ourselves because you can't put energy into something like that. Mm-hmm. When you achieve success, you set a new standard for yourself. Mm-hmm. And then you're accountable to that standard. Because then if you fall back, you feel like a piece of shit. And you don't want to feel like a piece of shit by having success and then failing. So you'd rather just stay in the failure.
And that goes back to me saying, don't try to do it on your own. Because when you start having success, it only gets harder mentally. Mm-hmm. This is exactly why people who have lost weight were not able to lose more weight if they had to, or were able to maintain it. Simply because of that one, like, rewiring segment.
Yeah. So you have to know that first ask yourself, if we're talking about self-sabotage in a way of body composition results, with food specifically, because that's, I think, what most people here can relate to. You have to commit. Mm-hmm. You have to be committed to the success. And it's beautiful to know, I think that we talked about this yesterday.
We talked about it in the inner circle.
No, we talked about... It just left me.
Okay. It left
Something that we were talking about yesterday where, I mean, you have a number of success and then you need to uphold that success. And how many times have we already failed? How many times have you already like lost weight or achieved whatever and then gone backwards? And you're like, man, that feeling sucks. But why have you gone backwards? Most likely it's because you didn't use the right strategies to actually maintain the success that you got, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a free live web class on this on December 1st. So mark your calendars.
December 1st, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
But if you have to ask yourself, like, what am I really afraid of? Because if you're self-sabotaging, there's a reason for it that is very subconscious, and you have to pull it into your conscious awareness.
Yeah.
And then resolve the issue. Don't just put a Band-Aid on it. Yeah. Or try to resolve the problem without actually solving the problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say about that. One more. Kate Bam. Is that how you say your last name, Kate? If I remember correctly, Kate is the one who, when paying it forward in the challenge, called her friend and offered to be her surrogate mother. Is that Kate?
I'm pretty sure it
I
is.
think that was Kate. Okay. How do we identify blind spots? Ooh.
That's a good question.
If we don't know they exist, how do we know what to fix? This is simple. You can't identify a blind spot because it's a fucking blind spot. You don't know it's there. You don't identify a blind spot. Somebody else identifies your blind spot.
Exactly.
That's what we're here for. So it's called blind spot because you can't see it. You don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
Somebody else has to see that. And you have to be the one to reach out to say, hey, can you help me understand where I'm going wrong here or where I've gone sideways?
Yep.
I don't know. And everybody has blind spots. 100%. It's simply a blind spot is not knowing what you don't know.
Yep.
That's it. That's a blind spot.
You don't know what you don't know, and the only way to fix a blind spot is to reach up to somebody who has been there, done that, and has proven to overcome a situation similar to yours. This is exactly why we have coaches. This is why we flew across the country last weekend, because we are surrounding ourselves by people who can help us identify our blind spots so that we can get better at what we do so that we can make a bigger impact.
Yeah,
and the same thing goes for you guys. Like when I tell you, look, if you are not where you want to be, you need our help.
You need somebody's help.
Like, stop trying to figure it out on your own, because that's like an average way of thinking. I'm gonna try to do it on my own. No, dude.
Again.
Go get the help.
Again. I'm gonna try to do it on my own again.
Right.
And again. Like, that is the worst cycle you can go through.
I'm like, what's gonna be different this time? In order for you to be successful, you have to take into account 3 A's: attitude, approach, and action. You might have a good attitude going to it, but if your approach and action is the same, or maybe you're taking more action but your approach is wrong, then you're still not going to get there. All of these 3 buckets have to be in alignment. Attitude, approach, action. All the time. So, you need someone who has been there, done that, and can see things from a bigger picture.
Who knows what's happening right here.
And that,
like, oh shit, I know what's happening.
And that, by the way, is not going to be something that's going to be identified from theory either. And that is the problem with nutritionists. And Daisy, you and I had this conversation the other day. Nutritionists theoretically know a lot, but I can guarantee you guys that at least 90% of them, because they don't practice what they preach, they might be very smart here, but if you don't practice what you preach, then from an experience standpoint, you don't know what approach to give, and therefore you're not actually helping your patients, your clients, whatever it is that you want to call it. And that is why you guys achieve massive results with us. Because yes, there's theory, but theory is small. Like, you need theory and you need experience together.
Theory has nothing to do with practical application. It's just a theory.
Right.
How do you practically apply the theory? And is that what's going to be the best for you? Like with nutrition, it's so mental. Can we all agree? That's very, very, very little to do with the actual food and so much to do with what's happening upstairs in your brain.
Especially nowadays.
Because we get so inside our own heads and there's information flooding towards us. Even here, you guys, even here. And you have to think for yourself. You have to be able to think for yourself and analyze, who are my people? Who do I choose to listen to? Why do I listen to them? What makes them believable or credible in my book in regards to X, Y, or Z topic? And don't do it alone. Do not do it alone. Ask yourself, how long have I tried to do this on my own? How many programs have I purchased where it's been do it yourself? How many times have I tried to make my own adjustments to nutrition? How many times have I decided that I'm going to work out X number of times a week without consulting somebody else who actually has been there and done that, and then has assessed your life, where you're at, what your preferences are, what your strengths, weaknesses, what your schedule's like, how many kids you have, then ask them, what do I need to do? Because when you go it alone and you don't know what you don't know, if I had a broken car and I tried to fix it myself, I'm like, it's fine. I'll look on Google. It's fine. I'll just YouTube how to replace an engine. I would be forever trying to replace an engine. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what shit's called. It would take me a lifetime. And you don't have even a guarantee for tomorrow. So don't try to do it alone. If you're stuck, you have blind spots that may be clear to somebody who's been there and done that. Mm-hmm. And just that's where we get help. And actually, if you want help, there are various things that we offer. You guys are here for free. We show up 5 days a week. Why are you stopping me?
I want to say something crazy. Okay, go. Flow.
If you need help, you have to invest in yourself. You have to. And you get what you pay for. If you invest $50, expect $50 worth of help. If you invest $5,000, expect the fucking world. Like, people are like, okay, I'm like you guys in the transformation, in the raw transformation. So many had money objections, and then you finally did it. We kept pushing you, and I'm not even like upset that we did that, because when we know we have the answer, we're so passionate and convicted that we're like, you have to do it. You have to do it. And you did it. And what's the outcome? Shit.
And we're only halfway through.
Every single day, we are just getting warmed up. And we are on such a massive mission, and there's so much fire in us that if you need help, please, 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 don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
So, my question to you is...
I was going to say, reach out to Jerry Bergman, reach out to Crystal Catalina. They're both admins in this page. Reach out to myself. We're here to help you guys. Just open the conversation and say, I need help. I don't know what it is, but I need help. There are different things that you can join into or whatnot that can be helpful for you. You have to jump. Otherwise, I fear you will forever struggle and only get more and more disappointed and more depressed and more frustrated. And we want to take you out of that. Okay, I'm done.
By the end of the day, you guys, time is the most limited thing that we have. So, if you've already been trying to figure it out for a year, 5 years, maybe a decade, again, there's so many blind spots that you're not even aware of, that it doesn't matter how well your intention is. And I'm telling you all of that from my own personal experience. It doesn't matter how well your intentions are. You're going to keep on going back to the same spot. And how much is that worth? Your agony, your frustration. When you are misaligned, you can never get yourself to a present state. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care where you live. You can never appreciate life. And anybody who has had a complete transformation with us will tell you that they're just, if you ask them, how do you feel? They will just tell you, I'm at peace and I'm so fucking happy.
And also, next, ask them how much they would charge to take it all away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guarantee you it's more than what they paid.
You guys, until you're in a place where things are just pulling you forward, you're not going to be in a present space. And if you're not in a present space, you can never appreciate how good life is. And I don't care how good of a person you are, because you're not in a present space, you're actually going to be effed up here. And you could be the nicest person ever. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I was messed up. I was full of excuses. I had all the right intentions. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, what are you going to do about it? So I'm going to do something crazy.
She does this to me all the time. And I'm like, what's about to come out of your mouth?
I'm going to do something crazy because a lot of times when we say reach out to blah, 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 like we get it. You guys have so much going on. Let's say you're listening to this on podcast or on YouTube, you're driving. And then as soon as you get home, like your kid cries and you already like forgot everything that happened. I would like to do a 1-hour Zoom call with anybody who thinks that they need help. And my intention for that 1-hour Zoom call is to get into conversation with you. It's going to be completely free, by the way, so that I can guide you and say, this is what you need, this is what you need, this is what you need, this is what you need.
Who's down for that?
Do you guys want that? Comment yes. I'm going to give you an hour of my time.
For those of you who are on the edge and you're like, I need help, a free 1-hour Zoom call.
Who in here has worked directly with us? How much has your life changed? Like, this is really not to brag. Like, you guys, like, I want to walk into everybody and shake you because, like, I will say this over and over and over again. Like, if I can, so can you. You guys, I'm the most fucked up person you've ever seen. And if you would have met me 10 years ago, you would not believe it. I've overcome these demons. You can too. You have to pull yourself into me. You have to. And it's not going to be forever free. But I want to help you. I want to give you guidance. Here, okay, this is your problem. You need this. Now, whether you take action or not, that's on you, dude. But I will do everything that I can for you. Why? Because I love you and I care about you. And I believe that life is too short. Life is too short to not be maximized. I want all of you guys to be lean, to be happy, to be at peace, and to be filthy rich. I want all of you guys. But if you don't pull yourself into me, you're going to deny yourself of that. Okay, what do they say?
Keep going up.
Up?
Here. I asked them how much they would charge from my cold dead hands. Priceless, no price tag, priceless. Okay, so then we got, wow, y'all MFers better take advantage of that. Oh snap, oh baby.
Daisy knows the value. Daisy, what have you accomplished in 11 weeks? Daisy's not even the same person.
Okay, Sarah, we're going to see you there. Monica, maybe. I think we'll see you there. Oh, shoot. That's nice. That's amazing. Yes, do it. It's priceless. Me.
Yeah, Tina, you've had a huge progress.
Offer. Did I say me? Anyone take her up on this? This will be the best investment of an hour you will spend.
Aww.
1 week.
Yeah.
In 1 week, I've never been better.
Yeah. To one in like 1 week.
Yeah. Had more discipline. My shoulder's getting sore.
But I don't know. I'm not getting yeses.
Wow, I'm so overwhelmed by how. Oh, okay. I'm so afraid of saying yes. That is the problem.
So I want to ask you,
what's
Denise,
the worst
what's
thing?
blocking you?
I want to ask.
Is it that you don't believe in yourself?
I want to ask, what's the worst thing that will happen? What is the worst thing that will happen?
I believe that most people are afraid of change. You guys are afraid of change. I will tell you that your life is going to be forever changed. I don't think most people really want that change.
Jessica's gonna get on it.
Okay, let me look on my calendar.
Missy, I'm sure we can work something out. I do need to be shaken. Dolly, better see you on that Zoom. Linda, we're gonna see you on that Zoom. I think a lot of them that are gonna watch this after the fact. I'm overjoyed. Amelia, we're gonna see you there?
10 a.m.
Rhonda, we're gonna see you there.
So let me ask you this, you guys, because my intention for doing it is for you guys to show up. If I do it and you guys don't show up, then that's a waste of my time. What would work better for you guys? A weeknight or a weekend, like a Saturday morning or maybe Saturday afternoon?
Ooh, she even offered that Saturday day.
Yeah. You guys, this is what I was brought to this earth for.
A day is a day. All happy day.
Yeah.
Lexi gonna be there.
So
Michelle gonna be
tell
there.
me weeknight
Tammy's
or
gonna be there.
weekend.
Mornings are better. Weeknight. I'm scared. That's okay. What's gonna happen? Saturday, I'll be there. I'll show up. Yes, when, please?
Most of them are
Yes.
saying weeknight, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Well,
We're gonna set a date. And if you want it bad enough, you're gonna find a way to be there or listen somehow.
Should we do it right here or should we do it next week?
We could do it there.
Where? Here?
Thursday night.
Okay.
Thursday evening. Do you need a right hand here?
We'll do it on Thursday at
3:30 Pacific.
this Thursday, November 12th at 3:30 Pacific p.m., 6:30 Pacific Eastern.
3:30 Pacific Eastern. 3:30 Pacific. 6:30 Eastern.
What did I say?
You said Pacific Eastern. I don't even know what that means. 3
I'm
hours
already,
at one
I'm
time.
already gone crazy, and it's not even 7:30 a.m.
That's what's happening. That's when it is. And we're going to have to figure out then how to connect with them to get
If
them
you
out.
cannot make it, and you know that you need or want help, do us a favor and email admin@erinandsarit.com. The reality is that there will never be 1 hour that will be able to fit everybody.
It's not going to work for somebody somewhere.
If you know that you're serious about it, do your best to make space for it. But I understand that sometimes you can't, and that's completely okay. Just email admin@erinandsarit.com and we'll see what we can do for you guys. But if you know that you need help, if you know that you have questions and you don't know what to do next, then stop wasting your time. Let's get you the help that you need so that you can start living your most epic life. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's not going to require sacrifices, but hey, it's your duty and obligation. Like, you didn't come to this planet just to, waste your life away. You're here for greatness. And if we can help you, we'll do anything that we can to do so.
If you have any other questions or I would even say, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just blast an entire email that says, this is when we are doing a free live community call for 1 hour. So keep an eye on your email inbox. I'm going to send out an email today. Actually, it's going to be at the bottom of today's email. And then I'm going to send another email right before that call happens. So you can just click on the link to join the meeting. Free live Zoom call, 1 hour for anybody who wants help with weight loss or has been struggling with their body composition in any way, or with nutrition or their workouts. And you're going to jump on that call. Clearly, Sarit has to pee because she's wiggling back and forth. So we're going to drop this call like it's hot. But thank you guys so much for being here, for rolling with our crazy roller coaster that goes every which way when we don't even know where it's going to go. But keep an eye on your email inbox if you want that. It's going to be called the Free Community Zoom Call. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. If you found value, if you laughed, if you cried good tears, if you felt inspired, if you have gotten more hope, put your hand on your vagina. That's what I do. It helps. Then please share, please like, please comment, please leave a review. If you want to know what else is going on with us, you can visit erinandsarit.com. Mugs have been starting to ship out, so that's exciting. And we will see you all tomorrow for our money conversation.
Wealth Wednesdays. We're going to talk about wealth building 101.
So we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.